discrepancy. It didn't look like they really out physicaled them. It just looked like they had more talent on the field than they did, and that's saying a lot because Clemson has been full of talent for the last 15 years. You know what I mean? So Texas just looked like they were the better team by far. There never was a doubt that they were going to win that game, and it kind of went like everybody expected it to go. I was hoping that they would Clemson would have pulled it out, but I was hoping against hope, as they say. So it's one of those things, man. That we just put this past us, put this behind us, and move on to the second round of the playoffs, to where I think we are going to see some better games. Looking forward to that Georgia Notre Dame, like you said. I'm not going to say that I feel too much more different than I did before we knew that your boy was going to be out. I think I feel the same way because it's Notre Dame, and I just don't have much respect for them.
Why you keep disrespecting them boys, man? You just don't want to give them boys no type of props, huh, man?
Nah,
I think he needs them to beat a team like Georgia to give him props.
They beat a Georgia. I can respect them then.
How do you feel about Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame?
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, I like him a lot. I think he's really good too. I love his athleticism. Listen, what I'm about to say, he's not Saquon Barkley, but he has that Saquon Barkley type athleticism. He'll try to jump over you. He'll try to run over you. He'll try to run around you. Yeah, he has all that to his game. I like him a lot. But
what is he, a junior?
I don't know what he is. I don't want to lie to you.
I'll look it up. I think he's a junior. Jeremiah Love is a sophomore, so he'll be back next year.
He's coming back next year. They have him on. The reason why I said they have him as one of the backs to watch for next year.
Okay. Well, one thing I disagree with you on, and it's not a bad disagree, it's just a little disagree. I was very impressed by Texas because it wasn't about. I did think they out-physicaled them. That's where I disagree with you a little bit. And the reason why I couldn't pull myself to pick Clemson is because the same reason I picked South Carolina. Clemson can't stop the run. And what I liked about Texas was you could see that they were prepared and they watched film. Mm-hmm. And they watched and they said, you know what? We're not even going to try to beat you with Quinn Ewers. We're going to run the ball down your throat, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. And to me, that was impressive because sometimes you can try to get too cute in these moments, and Texas didn't do that. Texas just, it's Ewers, it's versus, I lost his name. What's his name? Klubnik. I lost his name. Yeah, they was trying to hype that up. And Texas was like, no, we're going to run the ball on you. We're going to run the football until you stop it. And Clemson couldn't stop it. So shout out to Texas. Very impressed by Texas. Very impressed by Ohio State. Tennessee came out with their shirts off, trying to, I guess, pump their chests out there. And Ohio State came out and smacked Tennessee. Now, with that being said, that Ohio State team that I saw this past week, they can win the national championship. For sure, they can win the national championship. But here's why I think they messed up. At the end of the game, talking about we run that. What did he say? How my man said that? We run the SEC or we something SEC? Boy, you still got to go through Oregon. Stop worrying about SEC and Texas and Georgia. You got to go worry about Oregon this upcoming week. I know it's a kid. I know he's excited. I know they just smacked Tennessee. But Tennessee was the worst SEC team in the playoff just now. Nobody expected Tennessee to win the national championship. And that's now or before the season started. So just pump the brakes right there. But shout out to Ohio State. They were very impressive. Notre Dame.
Calm down. I know Tennessee made the 12-team playoff. But nobody who actually watched the SEC would say they were one of the best teams in the SEC. There are teams that were better than them that didn't make, just didn't.
And a lot of knock on Tennessee was they have a good defense, but Nico's still young. It's going to take some time. So we understand that.
And
Notre
that's the
Dame was
only
a very
SEC, and that's the only SEC team Ohio State beat all year.
right.
And I don't ever back up the SEC because I don't really care for that. Like I care about my team, not the conference they're in. But like I don't know these kids, man. They just get on their high horse. I'm like, you have one win against SEC team. That's it.
Right. Notre Dame, I know the score said 10 points. That was not a 10-point game. Notre Dame destroyed Indiana. That game wasn't close. They just out physical them completely. Like Box Office said, a lot of scrimmage was definitely controlled. Same thing with Penn State and SMU. I do want to say, I do agree with Yvonne on this. Jennings looked rattled, but I do think Jennings is going to be a problem moving forward. If he takes this experience and learns from it, I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to be on my list next year as far as Heisman contenders because he can make plays, man. I know it was the end of the game, but that last touchdown throw, that was nasty to me. I know the game was over, and maybe we could say that, but I think Jennings does have, a lot of Lamar Jackson in him. A lot of Lamar. I'm not saying he's Lamar Jackson, see, so don't go crazy. But a lot of Lamar Jackson in him. And the last thing I want to say, and I know that this has been going on Twitter. Everybody's been arguing for, the Alabamas, the Ole Misses. Even Lane Kiffin came out and said, "This is what listen, Alabama, you had your shot to get in the playoffs. Ole Miss, you had your shot to get in the playoffs. Now, with that being said." Strength of schedule has to come into play when we do this type of thing because this is what it sets up. Now, I'm not defending Ole Miss and Alabama. I know I'm kind of like playing both sides, but I'm just saying we have to choose the best 12 teams. And what I don't want is what I'm hearing people saying, well, some teams not going to schedule, like I know Clemson plays LSU first game of the season. I want those games to continue happening in college football early on. I don't want people to duck smoke because strength of schedule doesn't matter. So for the committee, make sure when you pick the 12 teams that strength of schedule has to be high up there. I would actually put it second behind head to head. That's just me though. Go ahead, Gio.
My winners is Ohio State. They're my winners. Ohio State has been taking a lot of heat since losing to Michigan. Ryan Day has been in the news. He's actually in the news right now, not because of him, but for other reasons. But Ohio State, they dominated this game from the beginning to end. And one of the biggest highlights of that game was Tennessee fan base. They nearly took over that stadium because you see a lot of orange over there. But the bad thing is they had nothing to cheer about in that game because it was over when the game started. From the passing game to the defense to the wide receiver play, they beat them all aspects of the game. And they should be proud. They beat an SEC team. We always talk about SEC has run college football. You look at the past couple of champions that has won. It has been the SEC. You look at the past team that has been in the playoffs. It has been the SEC. So I don't blame for Ohio State and their players for saying that, beating an SEC team. So kudos to them. But my losers is the CFP committee. That was embarrassing. That was pathetic, man. First round of the playoffs was not entertaining at all. You could call the Indiana and Notre Dame game. That game that Notre Dame and Indiana game was over when Love broke out that 98-yard run, one of the longest run in college football playoff history. And it was not entertaining at all. I knew what was going to happen to SMU. I knew they were going to get blown out. For me, I didn't think they deserved to be there despite, you got to give credit to a team that made an appearance to the conference title. And then obviously you've seen what happened. You see what happened to Clemson. There was nothing to think about when it came to Clemson and Texas. Texas didn't throw the ball. They ran the damn ball. What is it? Blue and Wisner, they combined over 200 yards rushing. Blue had over 177 yards, all-purpose yards, including 2 touchdowns, and they just beat them down the trenches, man. And I think that's what the game that Sarkisian wanted. He didn't want to throw the ball and utilize Quinn Ewers the entire game. They wanted to beat them in the trenches and run the ball down their throats, and that's what exactly Texas did. And the CFP first round, I felt like the fans of college football lost because they did not see no entertaining game at all.
Man, Blues out there looking like Bijan Robinson, bro. I was like, man, who the hell is this? And like he hadn't looked that good all year, has he? I haven't watched all of it.
No, so our original first running back, CJ Baxter, got hurt, tore his ACL in the preseason. So they made Jaden Blue the starter, and he wasn't doing well as a starter. Quintravion Wisner was, so they made Wisner the starter, and it just seems like Blue does better as the second string and coming in for bigger plays, not when the focus is on him.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I hadn't been paying attention to him all year, but he looked like he was the next coming.
He's speedy, but not as a starter. Like he gets shut down as a starter.
Wow, I never understood that, man.
That's going to be the key for Texas. If you can't stop Texas from running the football, because we know they can throw it, their defense is going to show up. If you can't stop their running game, they're going to be a tough out, bro, to anybody.
All right, man. Let's move on over to our next topic, and it's actually been announced today. I actually told Yvonne when I was on the phone with him earlier that Carson Beck will be had surgery, and he's having season-ending surgery. So he will be out for the rest of the season. He will be not playing in the playoffs moving forward, even if they advance as far as the national title game. So with that being said, man, with no Carson Beck, how far can Georgia go in the playoffs?
Okay, so when we made the predictions, I said I think he's out for the year because I looked up the injury myself and it said you need at least 2 months to heal. That wasn't enough time to get a throwing shoulder ready for like a potential national title game. So I knew he was pretty much out. But the furthest they can go is where I had them, the semifinals. They're not getting to the final, and they are not winning at all by any means. Look, this is not Georgia with Brock Bowers and McConkey out there. Okay. Gunnar Stockton needs a lot more help, and they're not going to have enough. They really don't. Georgia with Carson Beck has been struggling all year. I think if Stockton came out way earlier for Carson Beck in that Texas game, an SEC title game, Texas figures him out and they lose. He got a little fortunate when Beck went out. So to me, I think teams are going to prepare for him. It's unfortunate for Georgia because obviously we all know they're talented enough to win it all when Beck is healthy and everything, but they're not winning the national title without him. Stockton, even though Beck has struggled at times this year, I think he doesn't have that experience and teams will eat that up. So furthest I think Georgia goes is the semifinals.
You got it? You want me to go see?
I can go. Carson Beck is ass. And they're not gonna miss him. This might it might sound crazy.
Sounds like you really feel.
It might sound crazy because I'm a big proponent of your starting quarterback is your starting quarterback for a reason. And when you lose your starting quarterback, you are losing a lot, right? But as we saw in that Texas game, not so much with Georgia, right? Because this guy, he came in and he showed some stuff that you don't see most backups come in and do. He showed what they say moxie. He showed a lot of moxie coming in there, man. He was brave. He wasn't scared. The big lights that had to have been the biggest stage he had ever played in. SEC championship game. You get thrust into there, and you have to. That your only job is listen. You can't go in there and just like we playing not to lose. We gotta beat Texas with you. and they're pretty damn good. And he did it. He did it. And now he's had, what, 2-3 weeks to get accustomed to being a starter. The coaching staff has had 3 weeks to put a game plan in for him. Now they know who they're playing. They've been preparing for 2 teams. Now they're preparing for 1. They do have a whole lot of talent around them. Maybe not as talented as prior years, but they have a whole lot of talent around them. I think you're gonna see a heavy dose of ETN getting the ball, and when he has to throw it, he can throw the ball. He can throw the ball. He's not scared to run. I mean, I like the kid. I think they got a good chance. I can see them winning this game. But like I said, a lot of that is because I don't have too much faith in Notre Dame. But
they got Penn State, Boise after that. Whoever that is the winner of that game.
And the best thing that could happen to them is Boise win. Penn State. I'm not sold on Penn State. I know they're better than I know they're better than Notre Dame. But I think with Georgia, the talent in Georgia, and with this kid coming in, I think they have a chance. They have a chance. It's not like they fell off. They didn't fall off so bad. The best thing Beck had on his side was he was a veteran. You know what I mean? He'd been there for a couple of years and knows the system. He's won some games with him. But what's his name? Stockton?
Gunnar Stockton.
Gunnar Stockton, man. He's the future. He's the future for him. And I think he's a better quarterback next year than Carson Beck was this year. You know what I mean? So I think that he's on the right track. His ceiling is a lot higher than Beck's, in my opinion. And so since his ceiling's higher, him being thrust in there, you're not gonna like this comparison. I compare it to if Ewers got hurt and they threw Manning in there. I don't think that you see that much of a fall off. Some people might say Manning is better, and I'm one of the people that say Stockton may not have the experience, but I think his talent level is better than Beck. And he showed he has balls too. So I like it. I think they're fine. I think they're fine this week against Notre Dame. And look forward to seeing them play Penn State. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna sit and see. As I was listening, of course, I got cut off. Shout out to your brother Antonio. He tried to call me during the show. That's what threw me off for a second. But what's it called? I like the comparison you made at the very end with the Arch Manning Quinn Ewers thing, because I think that Arch Manning is a better runner of the football than Quinn Ewers, and I think the same thing can be said about Stockton over Carson Beck.
Yeah.
So when I think about this question, now, of course, before the season started, I picked Georgia to win the whole thing. When I found out Carson Beck was hurt, I picked Oregon to beat Georgia in the national championship. But make no mistake about it, the Georgia Bulldogs can win the national championship with Stockton at quarterback. They're that good. And I think his running element, and especially the bracket that they're in, can get them to the national championship. They have Kirby Smart as a coach. So for me, they can win it. Now, I'm not picking them to win it, but would I be surprised if the Georgia Bulldogs won the national championship? Absolutely not. I think they get to the national championship game, though. I will say that. I do think they're going to get there. I'm not changing my pick, even with Carson Beck out, because I'm going to go back a few years when Cardale Jones came in for Ohio State. The fact that you don't have that much game tape on this young man is going to play a huge factor moving forward. And they have so much talent around him with a championship coach with the pedigree of a Kirby Smart. So yeah, I'm gonna say George.
Cordero 12 gauge.
Yeah, 12 gauge. So, and I was like all in because of the couple of games, and I'm like, I would take him number one. That was stupid. but
Now looking back though, he should have gone immediately after that national
right,
title.
right,
Yeah.
right.
He would have gotten paid.
Right. So yeah, I think they can win the national championship because, like y'all said, I saw them in the Texas game. Texas has an elite defense. They were losing in that game, and he won the game. If they can beat Texas, then he can for damn sure beat Notre Dame. He can beat Boise or Penn State, and we don't know what happens in who they play in the championship game. An upset can change everything. Oregon, yes, I understand Oregon can get there. Ohio State can get there. Texas can get there. But we don't know who's going to get there. So I just think to myself, Georgia can win it. I'm not going to pick them to win it, but I do think they get to the national championship, though.
He win this game, he start building up confidence.
Right.
That's 2 big games he's won in a row. Then he go play a Penn State. If he beats them, if he beats Penn State Boise winner going until the national championship game, all bets are off. That confidence is going to be through the roof. He's going to have the whole state of Georgia is going to be behind him, and the team is going to believe in him. You know what I mean? You know, Carson Beck got to play the great mentor and act like, you know, he's happy.
But I will say this: if I'm Georgia, the one team I don't want to play is Texas.
Yeah, I don't want to play him
You
again.
can't beating them twice is hard enough. Now for a third time.
Yeah, I'm not playing. I'm not wanting to play Texas ever again. I don't want to see them boys no more. Simply because, like you mentioned it last time, the year LSU had to play Alabama in the national championship. We had already beat them. Why the hell we got to play them again, man? You know,
That's hard, man.
It was hard, and we couldn't get past the 50 for most of the game. And that was hard to watch.
Right.
So, and I could see that happening again. I could see that happening with a Georgia Texas rematch, being that Beck is out and he is their starter. You got a young boy that's got to play a whole game. Now they got 3 games of tape on them too. That's where it gets scary.
Right. Before you go, Q, I just want to say this: Notre Dame, Penn State, no excuses. This is your chance right here. One of y'all better take that full advantage of this. This is your chance to get to the national championship game. No excuses. You should be the favorite. Really, you could be the favorite against Georgia. I'm not saying you will be, but you could be.
Well, and that's a big reason I had Penn State in the national title game when we did the bracket predictions.
Right.
Perfect. It worked out perfect for them. This is their opportunity.
Well, you're right. They got this is their opportunity for Penn State and Notre Dame, because Georgia, the only place their ass is going is out of the damn second round, because there is no chance in hell without Carson Beck. This team is going anywhere far in the CFB playoffs. The Georgia Bulldogs will go as far as Carson.
Yeah. Hey, put a camera on just you and say that again so we can put a video out. Go ahead.
Wait, all right. Hold on. Let me do this.
Yeah, do that. Do like you just did me. Go ahead. So if they win the national championship, we can come back and revisit this.
Hold on, let me see. Okay, like I said, man. The Georgia Bulldogs, they got no chance in hell of winning the national title. Their ass is gonna get bounced out in the second round of the playoffs. It doesn't matter. Like I said, man, this team will go as far as Carson Beck takes them. And right now, you got a young freshman quarterback with Gunnar Stockton. Sure, in the second half, he did go for 12 of 16 for 71 yards. But guess what? He averaged 4.4 yards per pass completion, man. I mean, way to go to get the job done against Notre Dame. Good luck to them. And Notre Dame's going to beat them. I won't be surprised if Notre Dame beats them by double digits. Notre Dame, yeah, I don't mind shaking your hand. Notre Dame is great at both sides of the line of scrimmage. They could stop the run. They could stop you passing the ball also. You look at the 2 losses that Georgia lost to. It was against Ole Miss, and the other one was against Alabama. It took them 8 overtimes to survive against a team like Georgia Tech. So you're playing vicious defense, man, which is Notre Dame, man, and I think this team is going to be tough to stop. I know C don't believe in them, but this is a really good team, and the quarterback play is going to be a huge issue when it comes to this. And I just don't think Georgia can get far rolling with Gunnar Stockton. I just feel like I haven't seen enough yet to say that okay, I think this guy can do enough damage for them to beat a team like Notre Dame, and I just don't see it.
Okay.
All right, man. So we are moving on over to so I'm not sure if you guys want to do the wait for the college football second round picks
Now
or
we can
you
pick them tonight.
okay. All right, go ahead, Yvonne, go.
All right. So remember these games aren't until New Year's Eve, so next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I'm just gonna name them in order. All right, next Tuesday we got Penn State against Boise State in the Arizona Cardinals Stadium in Phoenix, or I should say Glendale. This is where Boise State's had some wonderful memories in bowl games before. Who we got?
Okay, I'll go first. I guess I'm kind of giving my hand away because I'm a big believer that an upset has to happen in the playoffs. It has to. There's no way every year, I mean, and the whole tournament's going to go by and nobody's going to get upset. I'm going to take Boise State to put an upset. I will. And I know that's kind of crazy because I like Drew Aller. I'm kind of like box office. I think he's really good. So it's kind of crazy, but we've seen this movie before. Adrian Peterson in Oklahoma playing against Boise State, and Boise gets the dub. I think Boise gets this dub in an extremely competitive game. I'm actually going to give you a score. I'm going to go Boise State 26, Penn State 24. I think Boise gets them.
Wow. Okay. Keo, C.
No. No. Hey man, the Boise train stops right here.
Okay.
Ashton Genty, you lost the Heisman. You're gonna lose your first game in the playoffs. Head to the NFL. Stage left. Penn State just too good. Just too good this year. I'm not big on Drew Aller like y'all are, but he's a better quarterback in this game. Penn State's the better team. Physically imposing. You'll see the difference now. You'll see the difference. The only thing that that they have in Boise is Ashton Genty, and like he said, like we always say, everybody knows that they were going to run the ball with Ashton Genty all year, and they prepared for it and couldn't stop it. I don't think they stop it tonight. This game, but it's going to take more than that, and that's the only thing they have. One trick pony is not good enough to beat Penn State. So I got Penn State. Moving on. Ain't no blue field. They don't have an advantage. We're going with Penn State.
All right, Ashton Genty lovers, this is your chance to shut me up because he's finally playing against a defense, a really good defense that matters, man. You see how they annihilated SMU, a team that didn't even deserve to be there in the first place. But I'm not a huge fan of Penn State. I've been against them all season, but they're playing against Boise State, man. This is a cupcake win. Boise State is just too one-dimensional right now. Right now, they rely too much, like C said, on Genty, man. They're gonna have to pass the ball. They're gonna put a lot of players in that box when they give Genty the ball because that Penn State defense, they're gonna know what to expect, And as far as the offensive side, Penn State, they can they also can run the ball too with their two-headed monster with Singleton and them guys. Drew Aller's been playing a little bit better, man. I kind of been impressed as of late with Drew Aller, man. I have, but not that much though. They will pull out the win. I got Penn State over Boise State.
And one thing about it is, man, when you play a team like Boise, it's an easy and a hard job at the same time being the defensive coordinator. You know what you have the game plan for. You just game plan strictly for the run. Strictly for the run. Of course, it got to pass it eventually, but I'm strictly game planning to beat them by stopping the run. The only thing is, the bad part is, what if you can't? If that's all you game plan for, and you can't stop it, you stuck. You stuck mid-game. You stuck. You don't have any answers because you're putting together a game plan that you believe in your mind can stop him from running. And if he's still able to run, you're stuck. And that's how people lose, because you did everything. You put everything in there, and the adjustments can't be made because you put everything into effect in the beginning. So that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a team that either you can stop them from your first game plan, or you can make the adjustments after you see what he like right now in real time, make the adjustments, and then just outscore him.
Okay. Well, I'm going with you two here. I've got Penn State. I had them in the national title game. I'm sticking with that. I like Drew Aller. This road to the national title game ended up really good for Penn State as well. I think they're going to focus on Genty, and that's going to be their game plan. Like C said, they're going to make sure to stack the box. And I don't think Boise's got a chance in the trenches against Penn State here.
A Heisman runner.
Physically imposing.
Which y'all scores real quick?
So Vegas has Penn State 10-point favorites. I'm going to go something like 31-17.
Damn, I was just about to say the same thing.
I got 30-13.
Okay.
31-17. That's the score to me.
Speaking of Heisman Trophy winners, no, just kidding. Go ahead, Yvonne.
I think Boise will score. They'll have some success. They won't be like SMU, but in the end, the Penn State pulls out.
I think SMU, they turned over the ball. Boise's not going to turn over the ball. I don't think. Boise is very careful with the ball from what I've seen this year, and they don't turn over the ball at a high rate. So as long as they can control the clock with that running game and not turn over the ball, they'll be in this game late.
The thing about it is are they going to stick with the running game once Penn State starts scoring? You go down 2 touchdowns, you going to keep on running the ball with Genty?
We'll see, right? A kid in a high runs the football no matter what.
Yeah, man. They got their kicked out the first round this year.
Chill out, my boy.
All right, next matchup in order: Texas, Arizona State. Who we got?
All right. Now listen, Arizona State. I think they're gonna come out. They're gonna score early, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh man," kind of like what Clemson did. Same thing, but the difference in this game, I don't think Texas is gonna beat them on the ground. I think Texas is gonna beat them through the air. I got Texas 27-17. I just think Texas has more talent than Arizona State. But I do think Arizona State's gonna be, competitive in this game. I don't think they'll let Clemson. I don't think they'll let Texas get to 30. They'll stop them at 27. And I think this final score will be 27-17-ish. But Arizona State might not score their second touchdown until the late third quarter, early fourth quarter. They'll score early in the first quarter, and then they won't score again until the third or fourth quarter. So Texas are pretty much, dominated from after the first, kind of like against Clemson, exactly.
Okay.
All right. The main thing I've been saying about this whole playoffs, physically imposing. Texas is going to be bigger, faster, stronger, more talented than Arizona State. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. I got Texas by 2, maybe 3 touchdowns. I do agree with X. I think they score. Arizona State may score early and may score late garbage time touchdown. Now, I wouldn't say in the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. I'll say late fourth quarter, they'll get another one on the board and make it look like they could score, but physically imposing. Texas beats them down. They show why they needed to have been in the SEC a lot longer than just this year.
Okay. Obviously, I think Texas is going to have a similar game plan to what Penn State has against Boise. Cam Scatterbo, that's who they run through.
Mm-hmm.
I think Texas is going to shut that down, and pretty much Arizona State's not going to have a chance after that because they're going to be forced to throw. Texas defense, I think, is the best in the country, and I think that's going to be the difference here. I'm going to say 27-10. It's going to be tough for Arizona State to score consistently. I would actually take Texas minus the points. I think they're going to cover.
What's the spread?
14.
Yeah, I think they cover.
Okay. I have Texas in the national title game. They are the team to beat right now. Texas University. But there's no but. They're gonna blow their asses out, man. What you mean, man? It's freaking Texas. Texas, they're good at offense. They won the last game with no Isaiah Bond due to he didn't play with the injury. I think he should be able to play. I think if he does play, I think that's definitely going to be good for them. I think they're going to continue to run the ball, and I do think that they will dominate in the trenches. I think Texas is going to bully Arizona State around, man. I think Texas is just going to show levels in this game. I think Ewers is going to do what he's supposed to do. Blue, Wisner, they're going to run the ball very effectively in this game. And I just think Arizona State's going to rely on Scatterable way too much. Kind of something similar to the Boise State and Penn State game, but I do think Texas beats them by double digits. I'm going to say 34-17.
Okay. By the way, I don't know if y'all looked this far. If Texas does win this game, you know where they get the semifinal?
Where?
Jerry World.
Oh,
that's true. I did hear that.
They get it in Texas. So they would get Oregon or Ohio State in Texas. So that would be huge for them.
And this
exactly
is their
what they want.
And this is their second time back in Atlanta also. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, man.
Yep, they're back in Atlanta because that's
gotta love me some Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. All right. So next matchup. Ohio State versus Oregon. The rematch. And I think it's in the most beautiful setting in college football, the Rose Bowl.
The granddaddy of them all.
Hey, listen. I know Ryan Day and Ohio State came to play. I know that they want this one bad because of the way it ended in the regular season at the end when Will Howard, slid and they ran out of time. And a lot of people say, well, if they had a little bit more time, they could have won that game. I get it. But when the smoke clears, Dylan Gabriel and the Oregon Ducks will win this game. Going into the season, Keo had put out a flyer out there. I said, I'm going to tell you why the Buckeyes will not win the Big Ten. And the reason why? Because Oregon joined the Big Ten. The Duck Dynasty begins this year. The Ducks will not knock off the Buckeyes one time. They're going to do it twice.
Wow.
And they're going to do it 28, 24, and another classic, but Dylan Gabriel, C's guy, I'm gonna give him a nickname. C. I'm gonna call him the Terminator.
Whoa.
Terminator, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because he read and he reacts. You
Yeah.
do this, I do that. You do this, I'm gonna do this. Now, either you're gonna pick he's almost like a point guard out there, a true point guard. Either I'm getting to the rack, and if you try to stop me there, I'm gonna dish it off to this man. So he understands the game, and it's another level. And look, I'm not a Duck fan. I just started writing on the wall at the beginning of the season. I just think the Ducks are that dominant. The only team I thought could beat them would be Georgia, and with no Carson Beck, that's gonna be tough. I got the Ducks beating the Buckeyes again for the second time.
All right, let me correct this. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Won't be no shame on Ohio State, man. I got those boys winning the whole thing. And one of the main reasons, 2 words, Jeremiah Smith. That boy is a dog. All right. He's one of the best receivers in college football this year, and he's just a freshman. A lot of people slept on him because the guy in Alabama was doing so much. But let's keep it real. Jeremiah was the number 1 ranked player in the country coming into college this year. He's a 5-star prospect by every major recruiting service, as well as the top ranked wide receiver because he was number 1 in everything. One of the finalists for the 24/7 Sports National Player of the Year honors. He was named the Player of the Year in the state of Florida by Max Preps, and that's just a few things. But right now, what he brings to this Ohio State team, he just adds to the legacy of their awesome wide receivers at that university. They are close to wide receiver U.
Oh,
Close. They aren't though. But he's another one. He's another one that brings them closer to the throne. And he's been showing out for him all year. I think he has a great game. Now, I am a big Dylan Gabriel guy. That's a great name from him, the Terminator. He reads, reacts. He has a good feel of the game, but hell, he's been in college for 7 years or something like that.
That is true. Hey.
I mean, he's used to it, which I think is good. But I think that Ohio State, when they've been at their best, they have been clearly the best team in college football this year to me. That their best games, they look better than any other team playing their best games to me this year. I can't say I've seen Oregon's they doomed to lose one game. They keep
Oregon versus Penn State. You wasn't impressed by Oregon?
No, I wasn't. Not more than I was Ohio State. The way Ohio State beat the hell out of Indiana.
Ohio State's defense for sure showed up in it. But offensively, dude, Penn State, boys, he's played 3 teams that's left in the playoffs and scored 30 or more on all of them. All of them. I mean, Oregon has scored 30 or more on all 3 teams that's in the playoffs right now. Oregon has scored 30 or more points on all of them.
But we've also seen them same dudes damn near lose. I keep
you gotta outscore them. Good luck.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said you gotta outscore them. Good luck.
Yeah, and I think that they can do that. I think Ohio State has all the tools to do that. They have the defense to hold them, and they have the offense to put points on the board. We've seen Judkins run the ball like crazy all year. You know what I'm saying? And you just look at the weapons that they have over there at Ohio State. Like I mentioned, Jeremiah Smith. You got Judkins. I mean, the whole offensive scheme put together by Chip Kelly. I will admit, sometimes it looked like he's trying to do too much, and the shit just don't work. But I think that with all this time to game plan, he's going to put those players in the right position to make plays. and they're gonna pull out the big victory because at this point, Oregon has been playing with fire too long, and they eventually gonna get burned. I think they're gonna get burned this time.
Okay. I'll go next.
Right.
I've also got Ohio State. I went with them in the preseason. I went with them before the playoffs started. I think that after that Tennessee performance, now I think they're hitting their groove and their stride. It's unfortunate for Oregon, though, because they were the best team in the country all year, undefeated, and they get set up with Ohio State in the second round. That's the issue with the playoff, but we know that. They got to fix the seedings. But look, I think Ohio State has more talent on the offensive side. And they could have won that first matchup if there was maybe at least 15 more seconds on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they lost is because they did not get to Dylan Gabriel once in that first matchup. 0 sacks. They got to get to Dylan Gabriel at least twice in the next matchup.
The Terminator.
They got to make him rush. This is going to be a classic. This is going to live up to the hype. This will not be a blowout. It's going to be easier for Oregon to travel. This is in Southern California. But this is going to be a matchup that I think we're going to remember. Winner gets Texas, most likely. I'm going to go Ohio State, another close game. And it sucks for Oregon because it's going to be their only loss this year. I'm going to go 31-28, Ohio State, and they meet Texas in Dallas for a chance at the national title.
And allow me to reiterate this. After this turnover, I'd love for my Saints to draft Dylan Gabriel. I love him.
Look, he's already given up on Rattler the future.
I ain't giving up on him. I want to see him battle it out, though. He's just letting the ball.
Hey, this is bad. Like, 21-0, bro. It's not even halftime, bro.
Go ahead,
well, the Rose Bowl. It's you normally when you get these type of matchups, you get a lot of points scored, and it's normally one of the best bowl games of the year, and that's exactly what I think is going to happen. I think a lot of points is scored, and I like what X said. You're going to have to outscore Oregon. Oregon scores in bunches. It's really tough to beat a team twice in a year. I mean, unless your name is the Georgia Bulldogs. But this team just got too many weapons on both sides of the ball, man. You got Igbuka, Jeremiah Smith, who went over 1,000 yards this season, 10 plus touchdowns, the two-headed monster with Travion Henderson and Judkins. People, we talk about all these weapons a lot, where we don't talk about Will Howard enough. And I'm pretty sure Will Howard got this data on his counter, especially the first matchup, after we knew what happened in the last play. And we know about the defense with Caleb Downs and Jack Sawyer and, guys like that. And they're loaded on both sides of the ball. I think Ohio State will be ready. I think this will be a different outcome. And the outcome is the Ohio State Buckeyes will score more points than them. I got the Buckeyes.
Wow. Hey. This time, you don't have to climb to catch y'all. Y'all going to have to catch me.
All right.
Hey, Keel, when you put this stuff out, man, make sure X calls the Ducks Duck Dynasty. Oh, that Duck Dynasty is on its way.
They got to win one first.
Hey, they coming. They coming. I'm telling you.
All right. Last matchup on New Year's Day. We've got Notre Dame versus Georgia in the Saints Stadium. Right now, Georgia's only a 2-point favorite. Only a 2-point favorite. Who we got?
I actually wrote it down. I got Georgia 21-17. I just think Georgia, man, Notre Dame beat Indiana by being more physical than them. Yeah, it ain't gonna work with Georgia.
It ain't working.
That's not gonna work with Georgia. They're not gonna be able to out-physical Georgia. I know they want to run the football, but I think a team that would give Georgia problems would be a team more similar to like Ohio State, Oregon, Texas. If Ewers is hitting his passes, that you going in there trying to run the football every down against Georgia, that's not gonna work. Maybe if Riley Leonard and they take what Georgia Tech did and say, you know what, we're gonna run Riley Leonard, we're gonna run him, we're gonna run him, we're gonna run him. Maybe they have a shot, but I just don't see it as far as them winning the game. Even with Stockton at quarterback, I just have to believe that Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs will be prepared for this. And I think Stockton will have one rushing touchdown, one passing touchdown, and then one of those running backs will get them a touchdown. Or if not the defense. And I got Georgia just getting by Notre Dame, but getting by Notre Dame. I got Georgia.
Oh, me? Bro. John Stockton, Carl Stockton, Carl Malone. Hey, bro. I don't care who they line up out there at quarterback for Georgia against Notre Dame. I got Georgia. Like you said, man, they out physical Indiana. Ain't gonna work with Georgia. They should if they attempt that, they're gonna lose by 30. If that's what they even try, because they're gonna go down 30 in the first half and not gonna be able to catch up. But I don't think they're that dumb. Coming from South Bend to New Orleans for the the Sugar Bowl they calling it?
Mm-hmm.
That's a prestigious bowl, man. They coming down here. I believe Notre Dame's won it a few times. I know they played it a few times, but I believe they won it a couple times. But Georgia's been
under Brian Kelly, by the way.
Mm-hmm. And even before then, I believe they beat Miami before.
They lost to Jamarcus Russell, and Jamarcus Russell became the number one pick. And I don't know for what after that Sugar Bowl.
The great Lou Holtz.
Woo. But my thing is, bro, you it's just this week it looked like they say it's levels. And I'll take the backup at Georgia to beat Notre Dame. If the backup for Notre Dame was playing against Georgia, nobody would dare pick Notre Dame. So I feel like that shows where the programs are actually at. That Georgia's still a 2-point favorite without their 2-year starter playing and a freshman. He's a true freshman, huh?
He's I think actually a sophomore. I think he was backup last year.
Okay, but his experience is one second half of an SEC championship game. That's the extent of his experience, and Georgia's still favored by 2. I'll take that, and that shows you where the programs are right now. And I just think looking at that alone kind of shows you where we're going with this. And I can't see Notre Dame coming in to the South beating Georgia, because Georgia's going to act like this is a home game. Because those you can see in Saints and Falcons games that those people in Georgia don't mind traveling to New Orleans. They love it on Bourbon Street. They'll be down here getting drunk and going to the Superdome, raising hell. And it'll be it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game, but Georgia's going to come out on top.
Okay. But I got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, man. I think they're gonna win.
You're wrong.
Well, we'll find out. See. So, man, losing Carson Beck reminds me of Colt McCoy when he got injured against the Oregon Ducks. And obviously we know what happened afterwards.
Major Apple.
No. Colt McCoy was after Apple.
But it's Alabama, though, right?
Yeah, and against Alabama.
Yeah. My bad. But I just think this defense for Notre Dame, they are gonna go after Gunner Stockton. They're gonna force them to throw the ball. I know they got the guys like Dominic Lovett, and he definitely be making some huge plays at times. Also, ATN could definitely run the ball. Also, the offensive line is going to be a huge factor for for Georgia if they do want to win this game. I just feel like Notre Dame will find a way to squeeze this out, and I think this is a great chance for them to win this game, man. I got Notre Dame beating um, Georgia 27-17.
Okay. So the way y'all all came up with y'all scores, I actually see it very similar. Low scoring, ugly game, defensive. Both teams will be struggling to score. I'm gonna go with Georgia. Um, I think they've had enough time to prepare Gunner Stockton, but this is Notre Dame's opportunity. If they want us to take them more serious, these are the games they got to win. And I won't take it away from Notre Dame by saying, oh, but they beat a backup quarterback. No, Georgia's had enough time to get them ready. They're still Georgia. So, look, I'm going to go with Georgia 20-17. Game-winning field goal. They win it. They pull it out. But I still don't see them win the national title without Carson Beck. I didn't see it with Carson Beck. But look, this is a great opportunity for Notre Dame. I just think that they come up a little short. That Georgia figures out a way on defense.
And I just want to say something to all the college football people out there. Everybody was crying. I know Keo said the college football committee let it down. I wanted to say this when you was going through it. When the season first started, if we go back all the way to the beginning of the season, for the most part, I'm not saying there's not no fan that was biased, but for the most part, we knew who the teams that actually had a chance to win the national championship were. And they're still sitting here right now to this day. All the people that I saw either predicted Georgia, Oregon, Ohio State, or Texas to win the national championship. So I don't understand why everybody was fussing about the first round when we knew what that was gonna happen, what was basically gonna happen. Yeah, we won competitive games, but stop all that crying. This is the round. Next round for sure is gonna be the round
But
of
wait a
the
minute.
Giants.
Wait a minute. Hold on, man. You ain't. I'm not letting your ass get away with that. You're right. You did say that. I feel that way too. But I think two out of those three teams that you mentioned did not play in the first round.
That's true.
So they set this playoff 12-team playoffs, for it to be, we at least expected to be somewhat competitive. We seen people being very outspoken about how they feel towards it, and that's what I thought also. And I'm pretty sure you were disappointed yourself also.
Yeah, of course you want competitive games. I get that, but what I'm saying, in the grand scheme of things, those teams that won or even lost, they wasn't gonna win the national championship. I mean, the ones I'm talking about, the ones that made it in that you don't really think are gonna win. Like, I'm not being disrespectful when I say this, and if I'm wrong, by all means, shout out to them. If Notre Dame wins the national championship, shout out to them. I don't think they're gonna win the national championship. I don't think Arizona State's gonna win the national championship. I didn't think SMU was gonna win the national championship. Boise State's not winning the national championship. Oh, who else in the first round that I'm leaving out? Indiana. They wasn't winning the national championship. Like, what are we doing? Clemson wasn't winning the national championship. I know there was some people that said maybe Clemson could upset Texas. But even then, nobody thought they were going to win the national championship. At the beginning of the year and throughout the year, what we've seen, y'all said the best team that y'all saw with y'all eyes, which I'm not even arguing that in this argument, is Ohio State when they're hitting on all cylinders. Texas when they're hitting on all cylinders, Oregon when they're hitting on all cylinders, and then Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, and who am I leaving out? Oh, Georgia, of course, Georgia, but Georgia's nicked up. That's the best four teams in the country. If there's a 4-team playoff, I think that would be the best 14 teams that should be in the playoffs too.
Well,
I just
I'm not
Penn State has a chance,
well,
but I don't think they can win it though.
Well, I'm not trying to stir anything up. If we would have put LSU in there, I'm pretty sure you would have said
I'd
they
have been
have a chance to
happy.
win the national.
I didn't pick them to win it though. I didn't.
Okay,
I
all
picked
right.
Georgia to win the championship. I had Georgia versus Oregon from
No,
the
you
very
did.
beginning.
No, you did. You did. All right, man. Let's move on over to our next topic. We're moving over to the NFL, man. So, what we're gonna start off with, one of the big games that happened this past weekend, man. LSU star, former LSU star, for a Heisman winner, Jaden Daniels puts on a great performance once again. What I wanted to ask you, wait, hold on. What? Okay, so what I wanted to ask you guys,
You got a
I hear
huge
myself.
echo. Yeah. Yeah.
My bad, we good now.
Cause okay, all right. So what I wanted to ask you guys was, what was more of a bigger deal? That performance that you seen from Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts getting hurt in that game?
I'll
Um,
start.
Go ahead.
Obviously, Jalen Hurts because the the um the fact that Jalen Hurts got hurt that affected the game, and they were winning. They were actually on their way. Looked like they were on their way to a route. Had Jalen Hurts still been playing, and it leveled out the playing field, and it kind of showed that the Eagles without Hurts aren't as good as the Commanders fully staffed. And I think that Jaden Daniels, he did what he always does since he's been in the NFL. He's performed at a high level. And I don't think I don't think that was abnormal what he did. He's done what he did what he's been doing all year. And I think that by Hurts getting hurt, it shows that they're one injury away from being right back in the rest of the pack in the NFC. They had kind of pulled away from the pack after Detroit lost last week. They had kind of pulled off into first place on their own, in most people's opinion. But after Jalen Hurts went out, it brought them back to the pack. So I think that everybody's seeing how much Jalen Hurts actually means to them. I think that that makes a big difference.
You want me to go next?
I'll go. It is Jalen Hurts getting hurt because even with him getting hurt though, they had a chance to win it, and Devontae Smith dropped an easy first
Oh
down.
my God.
It probably seals it. Jane Daniels just took advantage of the opportunity, and it's Hurts getting hurt for sure because I think with the momentum, with the way they start off that game, they run away with it, and but look, at least for Hurts, it's not more serious than a concussion. He might miss this up and coming week, but after that, he'll at least be back in the playoffs. I picked Washington to win the game. I thought they'd split, and they did. But shout out to Jaden Daniels. It looks like they're going to make the playoffs. Very impressive rookie year for him. But I think the story here was Hurts getting hurt because they were up and had all the momentum.
Okay, I'm gonna disagree with y'all a little bit there. Only because I want to say the score was 7-0 whenever he got hurt. I want to say Philly scored with Saquon. I think it was 7-0. And then Pickett comes in and throws a touchdown to A.J. Brown. And that's when they so like Pickett was playing decent. Like it wasn't like Pickett was playing. They scored what 30? I think it was 33 points. I'm guessing. Like I don't have the numbers in front of me right now. I think it was the final score was 36 or
36 33.
36-33. Yeah. So I mean, Pickett helped them get to 33 points. Now I know the defense had the turnovers for sure. We're gonna give them their props. We're gonna say that Saquon Barkley balled out for sure. But at the end of the day, bro, turnovers, Barkley balling, Hurts might have went out, but Jaden Daniels had to overcome those turnovers. Some of them, created on his own. But at the end of the day, he overcame them. in a game that they really needed. I'm not going to say they had to have, but they needed it. And he did his thing. I do think long term, I agree with you and C. Jalen Hurts has to be there if they're going to win a Super Bowl for sure. But for that particular game, I'm giving the the props to Jaden Daniels because Jaden Daniels, he figured it out and he got some breaks. And what sucks is literally, the Philadelphia Eagles could have one loss on their record right now, but 2 drops kept them from that. so I'm not too worried about the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts he'll be good, this week, if not next. He'll be ready for the playoffs. And they'll be fine. With them there, I told you, I think they're one of the best teams in the league. And they're gonna be a tough out for anybody. But in this particular week, I give Jaden Daniels his flowers because the Eagles still scored 33, and he had to score at the end to win that game, and he did.
The bigger deal was Jaden Daniels. That was the bigger deal. 24 out of 39, 5 touchdowns. Made some plays running the ball, also not as much. But he made this game worth watching, and it was really exciting to watch. I don't know what people are saying a big deal about Hurts. Their damn wide receivers been complaining about Jalen Hurts not throwing the ball. I mean, obviously they need him now. Um, I mean, I mean, I mean, Pickett, he did play decent. He did play well, but Saquon Barkley was the guy in that game at the end of the day, with some major runs, huge plays, even including that touchdown run. And this was with Washington turning the ball over 5 times. I think they had like 3 fumbles. Daniels got picked off twice in that game, and they found a way to win the game, man. Definitely a huge part of it is what this team did in the fourth quarter. They outscored them 22-6 in the fourth quarter. And definitely I thought that if the rookie of the year is not wrapped up now, it definitely is now. So yeah, man, I definitely give it to Jaden Daniels. This was more of a bigger deal, and it basically sealed. All right. It basically sealed, possibly a playoff berth also, and it basically ruined Philadelphia chances as a number 1 seed. Like I said last week that they wouldn't get a number 1 seed. But yeah, I kind of felt like this was a trap game for them. But then again, I did pick the Eagles to win because I didn't know all of
it. I hurt my back at work. My workman's comp.
Because I didn't know all of this was going to happen going on in Philadelphia. But yeah, I do think that Jaden Daniels' performance was more of a bigger deal.
Okay.
All right, man. So from one rookie quarterback to the other, man, Michael Penix, he had his first start against the New York Giants. Falcons dominated the game. So with that being said, man, when it comes to Michael Penix, what would you grade his performance as a starter from this past weekend, which was yesterday?
Okay, I'll go first. I'll give it a C. Look, I didn't expect more, honestly, because like I said, they were throwing him in at the end of the year, trying to figure out what he's like. And he didn't throw for any touchdowns, but he had 1 interception. But the main thing is he controlled the game and managed enough for a win. There's not much else to talk about here. He got the ball out right on time in most instances. And now with that Tampa loss, Atlanta is back to first in the NFC South. They got to win out and they get the NFC South. But right now it's a C. He didn't do he didn't do anything spectacular. No touchdowns yet. But look, they won. That's all that matters. He managed a game. I'll give it a C.
Okay, I'll follow up real quick. C. I'm with him. A C. That's exactly what I wrote down just now. A C. And not only I did like some things, but the reason why I still got to give it a C is against the Giants. I don't think the Giants are trying to win. They came down and scored with Tracy earlier in that game. They made it look pretty easy, in my opinion. And then after that, it's like they couldn't do anything moving forward. I don't know. I just think the Giants are trying to stay locked into that one spot. We'll find out a lot more in these next two games. Look at it.
Smart by the Giants. It
But
appears once they fight for victories over here, now they're sixth in the draft.
Lord, but I do think we're gonna find out a lot more about Michael Penix. I think that was the best possible scenario. Played him the first game. Now we're gonna see how he can build on that these next two. But yeah, I give it a C.
I give him a D plus.
Okay.
He threw an interception and he couldn't score a touchdown on the Giants, who were trying to lose.
It is his first start, though.
I understand it's his first start, but playing the Giants. He playing the Giants with a hell of a lot of weapons. Everybody's rooting for you. Everybody in Atlanta is rooting for you. They were behind him 100%. They it was people that was calling for him to start at the beginning of the season, and especially after Cousins went over there and stunk up the joint. They wanted him in there. It was his chance to go out there and stamp his name as the starter, the heir apparent starter to the for the Atlanta Falcons for years to come. And he just didn't go out there and do it. He didn't look bad. I give him that. He didn't look bad, because I have seen some rookies go in there on their first start and stink it up. But he didn't look bad. He looked kind of like I expected him to look. But I thought he would be able to score on the Giants. If you were going to start him, you start him against the Giants. You let him finish out this season. He got to win. You can't expect long. You can't ask for anything more. He got to win. He didn't go out there, stink it up, and lose it. So, what I think the bigger story is they're talking about the Falcons are going to cut Kirk Cousins by March to save their $10 million. I'm not the one to say I told you so.
Oh, yes, you are.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
I told all three of you guys Kirk Cousins wasn't that dude, and we see that.
Okay, see, I actually agree with you on this one. I give him a D minus, actually.
Wow.
His grade is as good as freaking Drew Lock. Their numbers were actually identical. Actually, I mean, the only thing bad about that is Drew Lock actually threw one more interception than him, and actually Drew Lock actually had a touchdown pass. Actually, what a relief! But his ass got saved by freaking Bijan Robinson, who had over 20 carries in the game for 94 yards. Yes, from Texas. And then on top of it all,
hey, do it again next week, baby. Do it again.
And then on top of it all, the defense basically saved him. So I felt like they didn't do much. He managed the game at the end of the day. That's what he did. He managed the game. He played against the New York Giants, a team that nearly everybody beats outside of the Carolina Panthers, I think. Yeah, I think that I it's just not much for me to go off of because you're playing the New York Giants. But the letter grade is a D minus for me.
Also, the Panthers did beat the Giants too, by the way. I remember it was the game that we sent to Germany as revenge for World War II.
What?
Okay. No, it's funny, Yvonne. Good job.
Okay. All right. Let's move. All right, man. Let's move on over to our next topic, man. We're gonna talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, man. When it comes to the AFC, man, is this the Kansas City Chiefs? Is this the scariest team to play in the playoffs right now?
Scariest? No. But definitely the team you should respect the most.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Andy Reid, they've got Mahomes, they've got Kelsey. I don't know about scariest. I mean, how many do y'all realize they haven't scored over 30 once this year? That's actually nuts.
So who's a scary team to you then?
The Lions when they're healthy are scary. The X
No, in the
mentioned the
AFC.
Rams. Oh, sorry. I mean, Josh Allen is always scary. Lamar Jackson, if Derrick Henry is running the ball on you, then you got to worry about two different things. So, I think Pittsburgh can be scary. I know they just lost, but when their defense is hitting and playing really well, they're scary. So, to me, Kansas City keeps getting by every game, every close game. They haven't scored over 30 once this year. They need to be respected, but they're not the most scary team. Like they're beatable. You just gotta finish games.
Well, I disagree with them. I'm gonna disagree. I think they are the scariest team in the playoffs, and the reason why is because what you just said. They never scored 30, but they have one loss. Literally one loss, and they never scored over 30 one time this year. And they have one loss. The thing about the Chiefs is they have a championship pedigree as far as the coach and the quarterback. And when it comes down to the playoffs, if you're asking me, do I want to go to Buffalo play Josh Allen, or do I want to go to Kansas City and play Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid?
Send me to
I'm gonna take
Buffalo.
my chances with Josh Allen though, to start out. I'm gonna take my chances. I'm not saying that I'm gonna win that one, but I am gonna say that Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, he's just different. He's different. That we can sit here and talk about Josh Allen in the regular season, and I know I've given Josh Allen his flowers in the postseason as well as Yvonne. Y'all two kind of disrespect them a little bit when it comes to the postseason, but I don't really want to have.
Well,
I mean, you want to go through the best, but I'm saying if I could duck that into the AFC Championship game, I'll kind of wait for that one to the AFC Championship game to clinch to get to the Super Bowl. But for sure, the team that you really don't want to bark up that tree is the Kansas City Chiefs. They're the team. Yeah, they could lose, but they can beat anybody. There's nobody that you'd be surprised if they beat the Ravens, the Bills, the Bengals, the Steelers, the Chargers. You're not gonna be like, oh, they're gonna be the favorite in the playoffs versus all those teams. Once the playoffs hit, they're gonna be the favorite. And now you got Pacheco back. Now you got Hollywood Brown back. Yeah, it's definitely the and Xavier Worthy. Shout out to y'all. I'll give y'all credit for that. He's fit in quite well with the Kansas City Chiefs. So yeah, I'm gonna say the Chiefs are the most dangerous, the scariest team in the playoffs.
All right, let me take another angle than you, X. When I hear him say scariest, I mean not the favorites.
Okay.
Who the favorites are fearing.
Yeah.
Or should be fearing. So I look at this. Y'all gonna love this. I look at teams like the Chargers or the Broncos. One of those teams is gonna make the playoffs, and I would be terrified to play one of those teams in the playoffs. Also, you got to look at teams like that also could sneak in there. The Bengals aren't eliminated yet.
I don't think nobody wants the Bengals to get in. I think people are gonna be like, nah, cuz we're gonna if the Chiefs win this week and let's say Buffalo was to lose, I think the Chiefs would let the Broncos win that game in the last game of the season before they let the Bengals in. But on the flip side, they could win that game. And now you put Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow in the first round going up against each other.
Yeah. But there's teams like that. When I think of scary, I think that if the Bengals make it into the playoffs, that's a scary ass team to play, man. Nobody wants to see them. The Steelers, another scary team, man. The Ravens, of course. I view them as one of the favorites, even though they're not even winning their division right now. I still view them as one of the favorites because of their experience, the weapons that they have, the coach that they have. I view them as one of the favorites, and I think that they'll be one of those teams that don't want to play. That they damn sure wouldn't want to play the Bengals in the first round. You know what I mean? They wouldn't want to play a Chargers or a Broncos team that's hungry and get in there. You know what I mean? So, and the Bills are another one of the favorites. So I couldn't say that they're one of the scariest teams. Like I don't think we'd be surprised if the Bills beat anybody that outside of the Chiefs. You know what I mean? So I view those teams like that. I mentioned that you look at the Chargers, Broncos, and Bengals, probably are the scariest teams. I'm not scared of somebody I know that can beat everybody, the Chiefs. I know that. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that scares me. I think they're the ones. That's what we're talking about. Who's scary? Who would scare the Chiefs?
You damn right. See, the scariest team is the Cincinnati Bengals. Do not let them get into the playoffs. This team is this team is on a 3-game winning streak. I don't think nobody wants to see the Cincinnati Bengals when you got somebody like Joe Burrow, who is basically first in yards, first in touchdowns, third in QBR, third in quarterback rating.
He would be the MVP if his team.
If they would have won, he would have been MVP. He said,
well, let me ask you this: if he gets in the playoffs, do you think he has a shot at the MVP?
I think he'll get votes, but I don't think he'll win it though. I think this is a lot of ground to gain from that. But and then you got one of the most vicious competitors, one of the best wide receivers in the league. Talking about Jamar Chase, who's
win the Triple Crown, by the way.
Yeah, leading in receptions, touchdowns, yards. I don't think there's nobody better than Jamar Chase right now. I originally picked him to win Offensive Player of the Year. I love me some Justin Jefferson, but Jamar Chase, what he's doing right now, I just don't think there is no cornerback defense. There's no cornerback that could guard Jamar Chase right now. Jamar Chase is going to do what he wants, and he's going to get his numbers no matter what. And I don't think no team wants to play this team. They do have a chance because, they got the Broncos and the Chargers at 9-6. All the Bengals need to do is win out. They do need some help. But if this team gets in, that's going to be a scary team, man. And I would not want to play the Cincinnati Bengals because this team right now, they're playing every game like it's their last game. They're playing every game like it's a playoff game because it's a must-win every game.
That's right.
So I would like to see the Bengals, though, man. I would like to see Joe Burrow back in it, man. So
for the scenario for everybody out there, if you didn't read up on it, the Bengals have to win out. The Chiefs have to beat the Broncos the last game of the season. The Dolphins and the Colts have to lose each one of the last two, and then the Bengals would be in.
That's a possibility. I think they can make it, though. I think they can make it.
Who do the Bengals have the last 2 weeks? They got
the Broncos and the Steelers.
And then when the Steelers and Ravens, now that division's up for grabs right now after the Ravens beat them. So the Ravens might need the Bengals' help. So we'll see, though. We'll see. All right, man. So with that being said, man, I'm gonna hand it over to Yvonne for the NFL picks.
Thanks a lot, Eagles. I would have went undefeated this week if it wasn't for the Eagles. Damn, I was cooking this week.
Let me see what I got here.
Yeah.
Hold on. Me too.
All right. So Reek and C are tied at 65 and 40.
Hey, hold on. Let me say something. Are you sure about those numbers?
Yeah, we sure.
No, I actually think I'm down one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because here's what I got. CU had the Broncos. Everyone else took the Chargers because you're a hardball hater. But you took the Texans. You got the Ravens right. You got the Eagles wrong. You got the Bucks wrong, and everyone got the Packers tonight. So I haven't put in the Packers one yet because everybody agreed on the Packers. So Reek over here, let me check who he had. I know he had the Chargers, so he had you Thursday night immediately.
He had the Commanders too for sure.
Yeah.
I went in up 2 or 3, right?
I've got the pictures of whatever the standings were last week. But Reek had who he had? He had the Chargers. You got that right. You got the Chiefs right. You got the Ravens right. You got the Commanders right. He got the Cowboys wrong. And then he's got the Packers tonight as well.
Yeah, so he missed one. So okay.
I thought he had the Cowboys.
Yeah, I thought I said he had the Cowboys.
Who?
Oh no, he didn't have the Cowboys. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
So y'all tied. He was up 2 before that.
Yeah, y'all tied. All right. So y'all are tied. X 60 and 45, and me and Kia are tied 58 and 47. All right.
I'm
So
coming, see.
All right. So I'm still at the top. That's all that mean to me.
All right. So this week is all over the place. We've got Christmas Day games on Wednesday. We got a Thursday night game that is trash that we are not picking. We got Sunday night game. Then we got a Monday night game. So I had to fit 7 games. Okay. I had to fit the 7 best games. So here we go. Chiefs at Steelers, Christmas Day.
I got the Chiefs. The Steelers, I don't know. I think they're slowly falling off, coming back down to reality. I got the Chiefs.
All right. So where they playing at?
It's in Pittsburgh.
Chiefs, Pittsburgh, Christmas Day. I got the Steelers.
I'm going with the Chiefs also, man. I like the Chiefs in this matchup.
All right. I got the Steelers as well. They've lost a couple straight. They're going to turn this around. The Chiefs are due for a loss. Here's where it happens. I got the Steelers.
Yeah, I usually don't agree with that due for a loss, Smith, but to me, it just seems like they due for a loss. They've been getting by the skin of their teeth. Give Pittsburgh Christmas gift to the Pittsburgh Steelers, because it's the closest they're gonna get to winning the Super Bowl. I think they go out there and perform.
Okay. X and Q got KC. All right. Another Christmas Day game. We got the Ravens at the Texans. By the way, both of these games are on Netflix, so we'll see if Netflix fixed their issues since Tyson Paul fight.
That's gonna piss me off, bro.
You know, it's
hey,
crazy.
they're gonna piss the NFL off if they don't.
Deontay Johnson actually got picked up by the Texans.
Well, hopefully, Netflix does mess up because the NBA need to win something on Christmas. So go ahead.
No one is watching until these games are over.
No, not right now. Okay,
hey, that's some whole shit. But well, that's y'all wild for that, bro. You can't get an NBA Christmas.
I love it, actually.
All right. I got Baltimore. Houston, man. First of all, let me say this. Shout out to Tank Dell, man. We praying for you over here at NBS, man. That was unfortunate. Never like to see anything like that happen. But I do have the Baltimore Ravens. Houston just doesn't do it for me, man. I don't know, like there's something missing with this team. I can't put my finger on it, but I just think Baltimore is starting to hit their stride. And I know, I jumped on the bandwagon with y'all and saying Josh Allen, but don't get it twisted. Lamar is trying to fight his way back and get that MVP. I think they knock off the Texans. I got Baltimore.
All right, man. I'll tell you what happened to the Texans. What goes up must come down. Them boys was up so high after last year. Everybody had such high expectations on them. Came back down to reality this year.
But see, not really, because none of us picked them to win the division. I mean, maybe Keo did.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I did.
But I know I didn't. I know y'all. No, you had the coach too. Y'all both had the coach.
Hell no.
I had the Texans.
Okay, as a wild card. I know y'all had them Because y'all was hyping the Colts.
I
and I'm
said
like,
no. I said the Texans would barely win their division.
Oh,
They
okay,
would squeeze by.
I said the Texans would win their division, and I thought the Colts might sneak in as a wild card, but yeah, but no,
And they actually might do it.
They need Denver to lose out on the Colts to win out, and they get in. So they technically are alive. Hey, see, you love saying that numbers. I know numbers. Well, the Colts are alive.
Hey, so you going on record? They still gonna make the playoffs?
No, Anthony Richardson can't complete normal passes.
Hey, he did make a good throw, but now don't get me wrong. It was soft coverage and out route. I was like, you have to make it, and he made the throw. So
also, you know what I saw Anthony Richardson doing that really pissed me off?
What was that?
He's in the pregame warming up with the rugby ball, throwing it. I'm like, bruh, you're not accurate with the football. A rugby ball is bigger. You're going to get used to throwing that bigger ball. You're going to overthrow guys, and you're already not accurate to begin with. I literally think that's a bad idea. I really don't get that.
Hey, man, Yvonne has been on record calling people running backs playing the quarterback. Now he has the ultimate running back playing the quarterback position.
Yeah, that's what I get. That's what I get.
Yeah, it's called karma, man. but anyway, what were we talking about? The Texans and
who you got? Houston or Baltimore?
I got Baltimore, man. I got Baltimore. The current and reigning MVP is going to continue to fight and try to get that back-to-back MVP. I don't think he's going to be able to pull it out. Josh Allen been playing a little bit too well. Too many moments right now in everybody's memory, and his numbers are so good. But I do think the Baltimore Ravens are clearly better than the Texans, so I'm going with the Ravens. I need a big game from Derrick Henry too, man. I'm live in one more fantasy league, and he's one of my running backs, and he's been selling me out a couple of weeks this year.
With this matchup, man, with both of these Christmas games, it's going to have a huge impact on the AFC North, and we're going to see who takes over the division. Because if I think the way it's going to go, the Ravens will win. And with that being said, I do got the Baltimore Ravens over the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I feel bad for Tank Dell. That was terrible, especially on the touchdown. But Bryce Young has been outplaying CJ Stroud recently. They're kind of lucky they're in the AFC South because they're not that good, honestly. They have not been looking impressive at all. If the playoffs started today, these two teams would play each other. And they played actually each other last year in the playoffs too. So we might see a rematch here soon, but I got Baltimore. I have no reason to pick Houston right now. No reason. All right.
Bryce Young too, man, turning that whole thing around. Even though he's on division, shout out to him, man.
Big fan.
Next matchup, Broncos at Bengals.
I got the Bengals. I thought maybe I was tripping at the beginning of the season, kept picking them. They kept letting me down. But the Bengals, man, they playing on a different level right now. And defense is actually playing okay. If they can keep it going, now granted, it wasn't the best quarterback play this past week. I get it. But I'm going to take the Bengals in this one. I think maybe I'm being a homer because I want the Bengals to make the playoffs, but I got the Bengals.
I got the Bengals too, man. Denver, y'all blew it last week, man. I ain't running with y'all boys no more, man. Y'all lost to Harbaugh. I'm running with the Bengals. I think they just had the better talent on their team. Bo Nix has been playing well this year, but he didn't have enough to beat Joe Burrow with an EAUX at the end. So we're gonna go with Joe now.
I'm going with the LSU boys, man. So I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals to beat the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, well, LSU could definitely use them right now.
We sure good. We sure good.
I got Denver, man. Look, there's no shame in losing to the Chargers. The Chargers are a playoff team. They're a divisional game as well. They got a little more extra rest for this game because they played last Thursday. I think Denver gets back on a roll. They officially eliminate the Bengals. I
I
got
don't need
them.
him after this week. I have the big one. Joe Burrow, Jamar, and Chase. Let's go, baby. One more week, baby.
All right, interesting game here because I don't know if Hurts is playing. Cowboys at Eagles.
I got the Eagles. Cowboys are officially eliminated. I was about to hit y'all up and be like, man, I think I'm switching to the Bucks. But I was like, oh, this is typical Bucks right here. They'll lose a game like this, but then they'll go beat a good team the next week. I just think the Eagles will win this game because the Cowboys really don't have nothing to play for. So I've got the Eagles.
I got the Eagles just because they better. No real signs behind
I got
them.
a question for you. See, I know because I'm gonna see what they pick, but will Saquon Barkley get over $150 rushing?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Dang, $150? That's so
Oh,
high.
oh.
I'm gonna go under.
On the Cowboys defense.
I'm gonna say under.
And if Jalen Hurts, especially if Jalen Hurts is injured, they're gonna be
He
handed.
only had 66 against them the first matchup.
Now, $150 is a lot. Now he
And
needs
they
each other to
crushed-
break the record. But I'm just throwing it out there.
He's a different. When did they play him? Like week 3?
No, it was like week 6, 7.
He's a different man these last 6 weeks, man.
I hope you're right. I got him too. Let's run it up.
Yeah.
I can see him getting $150.
Okay.
Well,
Who you
Whoa.
got, Keo?
well, you're wrong about that, man. The Cowboys do got something to play for, man. Like Micah said, man, it's about our character and what they stand for as the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm still picking the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game.
Okay.
throw
But I
CeeDee
think it
Lamb.
will be
Go
a
to
fight,
Lamb.
though.
Go to Lamb, baby.
By the way, I think the Saints are trying to move up the draft board. They're running the ball over here down 24-10. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Hey, now I'm going with your logic. We don't have anything else to play for. Lose, baby. Fuck it. Lose 48-0. I don't give a shit. Bro, let's run up the draft board, bro.
I got the Eagles, man. Look, it could be Cooper Rush, any type of rush. You could bring back Reggie White and have him rush. I still got the Eagles here. Look, the Cowboys, man, they'll impress you one week, and then the next week they let you down.
Well, you did pick against them yesterday.
I did, and I was wrong, but now I'll be right. I got the Eagles. All right. We got the Packers at the Vikings.
Man, bruh. Ooh.
This could be basically for a higher seed in the NFC playoffs.
I just don't think the Vikings are gonna get them both times. I'm gonna take the Packers. I just don't. There's no way the Packers are gonna lose to the Lions and the Vikings both times. I got the Packers.
I think they can.
Okay.
I got the Vikings, man. The Packers, they're a good team. They're a real good team against bad teams, as we can see tonight. And I don't think that they match up well against the teams that are good, that have been playing well. It's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And it's in Minnesota. Yeah, I got the Vikings, man. Big Sam Darnold, bro. He's playing for a contract, bro.
Everybody need to chill out next week, man. I gotta go against the guy that got him. Antonio, chill out.
Oh no, you might be in trouble. You might be in trouble, man.
But chill out, bro.
I got the Vikings also, man. I just don't think they're not gonna have an answer it's gonna be hard to stop Justin Jefferson, and Jordan Addis has been playing well. They've been running the ball effectively also, and Sam Darnold, he's been looking really good, man. So and the defense has been solid also. I'm taking Minnesota in Minnesota.
I'm going with Green Bay. I think they split divisional game. They're gonna want this game. I got Green Bay. All right.
Hey, can somebody call Kubiak and Spencer Rattler and remind them that Spencer Rattler is supposed to be a mobile quarterback?
Bruh, chill, bruh.
They piss me off, man. It's dumb.
Hey, man, come on, man.
Next game, let's go.
All right. Next game, we've got the Sunday night game. Two rookie quarterbacks. Falcons at Washington.
Falcons at Washington, two rookie quarterbacks. I'm gonna take the Commanders. Penix has to. This is gonna be a tough task for him to keep up with Jaden Daniels. He's gonna play well, I think, but not gonna be well enough to beat the Commanders. I got the Commanders.
Hey man, big LSU over here, bro. You already know what it is. We gotta go with the hometown. So I'm going with the Commanders to beat up on Big Penix energy on his second start. His second start is not gonna go too well for him. He just had a bad draw. Not his fault. He's still gonna be the starter, and I can see him doing it again, man. I can see him moving forward, but it just he's run his course as far as victories without throwing a touchdown. I think maybe he gets a touchdown this week, but he's not gonna get a win.
Interception for Rattler. Y'all stink.
Hey man, big LSU, man, the big one, not the little one.
There you go, Keo. Talk your stuff. Talk your stuff, man.
I just wanted to say that one time. I always wanted to say that, but I do got the Commanders in this game though. I think this is gonna Michael Penix is not playing the New York Giants defense. Washington, they definitely defense got a better defense. Expect a lot of Terry McLaurin in this game, man. I think he will go over 100 yards receiving. I think he'll have at least a touchdown reception. You know, I think Jayden, he's going to get Brian Robinson the ball, and they'll have less turnovers in this game. I do think that the Atlanta Falcons defense, they will struggle in this game against that offense. I'm taking Washington.
Okay. I did pick Washington last week. I got a little lucky, but it counts. Brian Robinson's got to get going though. He's struggled last couple weeks. He can really help Daniels out, but he's been tripping in the backfield. I just don't see how Penix gets much better in a week from that performance against the Giants. And then what do I expect him to do against Washington this week, a playoff team? I just don't see how he gets that much better in a week. I think they're going to try to feed Bijan a lot, which is good for your team, but it might be a bad thing, though, because I think Washington's going to see it coming and stack the box. I've got Washington. I don't see Atlanta pulling this one out, and I think Tampa takes advantage and wins the division, it looks like.
I think Penix throws a touchdown, but I also think he throws an interception to the former Saint, Marshawn Lattimore. He gets his first Oscar as a Commander.
I could see it. All right.
Pass interference and everybody, man.
All right. Monday night.
Against AJ Brown, he kept getting pass interference calls on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Too big.
All right. Monday Night Football. Man, the NFL probably thought they had a fire game set up before the playoffs in the preseason, but it didn't work out that way. We got the Lions going to San Francisco to play the Niners.
The Lions. And you know what's bad? You know what's going to be bad, though, to me? And then this is no disrespect to the Niners, but the Lions are not only going to be, they're going to destroy them. Because the Lions really don't take no prisoners when they play against everybody. They try to run, like I said, they try to run the score up, but they score a lot of points. They score in bunches, and I think they're going to want to make a statement. I know it's sad to say, but they're going to beat the Niners by, I think, what's Vegas calling the odds right now?
Let me see, actually. I already got rid of it. We got, oh, wow. They only got Detroit by 3.
Oh, no.
Ooh, let me get somebody right now for this thing.
Yeah, man. Hey, see, I'm going to send you some money, bro. Bet for me, too, bro. I got Detroit big, too.
I got Detroit, man. I got Detroit, and it's not going to be close. It's not going to be close. San Francisco's a bad team right now. They had all the tools, but man, injuries have depleted those boys this season. And trust me, I know, I understand. And they had better tools than we did. And don't matter who you are, if you lose your starters like they've been losing their starters, hey man, it ain't enough to make up for it. And what's that quarterback over there name?
Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Oh yeah. We don't even hear about that no more on the show.
Hadn't heard about that guy all year. Hadn't heard much about him.
I thought he was better than Josh Allen.
He is.
Okay.
God! I thought he was like top 3 quarterback in the league.
Top five. Still,
numbers show me different.
He's gonna get a big contract, in my opinion, and
he'll get a big contract. A lot of people get a big contract. The dude,
okay, well,
I'm gonna go New York. Got a big contract.
I'm gonna go with Detroit, just like the rest of the world. But definitely doing the -3. They're gonna destroy the Niners. And look, it's unfortunate the Niners are beat up. This is the NFC title game rematch, but doesn't matter. I got the Lions.
I like the way you set up that game too. The NFL thought they had them one on Monday night. It was like, ooh, this is at the end of the season too. Ooh,
they probably thought this was going to be a race for the 1 seed.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I got Detroit also. Yeah.
Go ahead, Gio.
All right, man. We're gonna go to one last topic. That was our NFL picks. We're gonna go to one last topic before we wrap things up. So 2024, man, has been a solid year, a great year. You know, a lot of things happened in sports. So my question that I wanted to ask you guys is, when it comes to 2024 in sports, what was more of the bigger story? Patrick Mahomes or Caitlin Clark?
Come on, man. Stop, bro. Come on, Yvonne. Don't do that. Yvonne, come on, man.
Why are those the choices?
It gotta be Caitlin Clark.
Like, is there a bigger story than those two?
No, I'll actually make Yvonne's point for him that he always says that nobody watches women's basketball, but you know what? Everybody knows who Caitlin Clark is, and nobody watches the sport. So you talk about the most popular sport in the United States, which Patrick Mahomes plays, and then you talk about a sport that nobody watches, which is Caitlin Clark. And to me, I just think Caitlin Clark, bro, what she's done for women's basketball, she's out of those two, yeah, for sure. I would go Caitlin Clark as far as when you think about 2024, you're gonna look back and say Caitlin Clark. You know, she helped put women's basketball in the forefront.
Okay, I actually agree. Because I heard Caitlin Clark's name more than I heard Patrick Mahomes' name, and that's after he won MVP, after he won the Super Bowl, after he entered this year as a defending champ. To me, I care more about Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, I watch his sport. I don't even care about Caitlin Clark at all. But I heard the name more than I did Patrick Mahomes. But so I don't know what that means. It means nothing to me personally. But hey, congrats to her, I guess, winning the NBS Athlete of the Year recognition award.
That's not the NBS Athlete of the Year. I'm just asking
hey,
who
we gotta
bigger.
vote on that. We got to vote before the year is up.
Go ahead. Let's see. Go.
But yeah, I mean, I just heard her name more throughout the year, and I don't even watch the sport. So,
I don't know why those are the choices. Caitlin Clark, I can see, but Mahomes, I don't see anything he did that was extraordinary outside of winning another championship. But that's like we almost used to that now. And it wasn't because he had such great numbers or anything. if anything, we could say the Chiefs being back to back. Maybe that's a bigger story. I got a couple of other nominees. I would say the Celtics winning the championship. That would be a good story to rival Caitlin Clark. The Chiefs winning another back-to-back championship. That's the story to rival Caitlin Clark. LeBron and Bronny. That's the story to rival Caitlin Clark. Let's see.
Not even close.
Bruh.
We talked about
Travis Hunter
Bronny.
in the Colorado Buffalo.
Huh?
Deion Travis Hunter in the Colorado Buffalo.
I was just about to say Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter and the whole Colorado Buff. You're right.
I would say what's associated with Travis Hunter right now.
Oh,
well,
that's the end of the year. But
well,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. See.
I don't think that's a big story. I don't think that's been the biggest story of 2024. Not bigger than all the other things that he did. But I mean, we could go with even the Team USA winning the Olympics again in the fashion that they did it. Maybe Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, the fight.
Jake Paul, the problem child. Oh, yeah. We didn't even talk about Usyk and Fury. I'm disappointed in this panel, but that's neither here nor there.
Shut up. We didn't even talk about Paige Buckets versus Juju
That's
Watkins.
disrespectful.
I know Yvonne was looking forward to it, but go ahead, see.
But no, I just wanted to give a couple of more out there because I just didn't understand why we were just talking about Patrick Mahomes in general. If we were talking about the biggest stories, the biggest sports stories of 2024, maybe the Chiefs winning the championship back to back. But by far it's Caitlin Clark. I mean, she was on the tip of everybody's tongue. For one reason or another, whether you liked her, whether you didn't like her, whether you like women's basketball or you didn't like women's basketball.
Let me just say this. I know always like, oh, I go that preaching stuff. But why would you not like Caitlin Clark? What did she do for you not to like her? Like that's
not to like her as a person, nothing. As a basketball player.
No, she nice. No, like she's good enough.
I ain't gotta like her. It's a lot of players I don't like. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
I agree with C here. Like, why do I gotta like LeBron? I don't have to like.
No, but to be a hater, like that's crazy.
Right, that's the way I do.
That is crazy.
I'm not a hater either. I'm a truther.
Oh, you a LeBron hater? You even call yourself a LeBron?
You're a LeBron hater. No reason.
When it comes to the biggest story in sports in 2024, it's definitely Caitlin Clark. But I cannot not include what Angel Reese did also, though, because like X said, I think those two will always be attached to each other, no matter how you want to bring that up. But Caitlin Clark has been a huge story on the headlines. You look at one of the biggest views that we've done was on Caitlin Clark, and we did a couple of them actually. She's has broken numbers. She's has changed the way women's sports is right now. We have people that pay attention to what Caitlin Clark is doing. Yvonne actually watched a couple of women's basketball for the first time this past year. I think that's how huge of an impact that Caitlin Clark has, man. Just as a rookie doing it and just making an impact the way she's did with the numbers, views, sponsorships, shoe deals, conversations being made for women's sports right now and what they deserve and what they should get. So I think that's huge for what she's been done. And, you got the haters that hate Caitlin Clark, the people that love Caitlin Clark. So it's been a huge story all over not just sports, but in the world of entertainment and even including in politics also. So yeah, I think she has been a huge story.
Can I ask a question? And this is a real question too. Is it warranted? Is the attention that she's garnered warranted? Because let's look at it. What she won? She didn't win a college national championship. She didn't win a WNBA championship. What has she won?
Well, I think it's more so about her impact and impacting the ratings, more so than the actual like results.
But that's what I mean. I'm saying is it warranted or is it media created?
Okay, well, I'll rebuttal that.
Uh-huh.
What is Travis Hunter win?
He just won the Heisman Trophy.
Okay, she won Player of the Year.
In women's basketball.
Okay, same
her
sport.
Which one is more prestigious?
Okay, but it's her sport. She can't win a Heisman. She don't play her sport.
But I'm saying all of that attention, women have won women's players.
Yeah, but okay, there's been people that won the Heisman that I can name it. A lot of people wouldn't know who they are. How many people remember Troy Smith? I mean, we might because y'all like sports.
Yeah, of course I do. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, the impact of attention, the attention that she get. You don't believe that's perpetuated by the media because
that go for anybody though. That could be. I mean, you could literally say about anybody, but her play is what got her that attention as well. No, her play is elite. Like it's an elite level play. Just like Travis Hunter's play is elite, and that's even though he hasn't won anything, it's still an elite. Like you have to do something as far as winning to get up to that.
I'm saying, okay, we've seen elite players, right? We've seen elite players. We mentioned Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, he's been elite this year. He's won the Heisman Trophy. Who had a better year, him or Caitlin Clark?
In their respective sports,
mm-hmm.
I would say Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely.
Caitlin Clark at least made it to a national title game. Like, he didn't even make the playoff.
Right. She made the 2 straight Final Fours. Like,
did she also win Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
Landslide
Rookie of the Year.
And there was, yeah.
Okay, what I'm saying is when I say better year, I mean more attention was put on them. And okay, so we'll say that. What's the biggest sport in America?
Football. Well, in America, football, yeah, for sure.
Football. All right, football. So the biggest player in college football this year was who?
What, Travis Hunter?
Yeah, I'll say Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest player in women's basketball this past year is bigger than the biggest player.
Yeah, but that's what we were saying about women's basketball over the college basketball during the last 2 tournaments. The women's stuff is actually people's been talking more about that than the men's. That's my
question. Is it warranted? It's warranted because of that's what's being pushed by the media.
But I think it's because
I think Travis Hunter is getting pushed by the media and Colorado in general. And I think we've still heard, even though he plays the bigger sport, we've heard Caitlin Clark more.
Yeah, the media can only push that if you do well on your prospective sport. If you don't do well, the media ain't gonna push how bad you are.
And I think she impacted her sports ratings way more than Hunter did.
No, she definitely did. But mine is what we keep going back to is how much she's being talked about, which is my point. The media is talking about her so much. It's like she's a novelty act, whereas we're used to seeing Travis Hunters. We're not used to seeing Caitlin Clark's, right? So when we talk about how big of a year she had, yes, she's talented. Yes, she's one of the best players in the WNBA right now. But is she the best player?
No, she's not the best player right now. That's a day no.
Right. All right. So college basketball.
I just think it's her style of play. After watching somebody like Steph Curry, you know, how he plays. She plays very similar to him.
Mhm.
And I think that we didn't expect to see something like that in women's when she's pulling up from half court and you're like, golly, and she's knocking them things down off of 1 foot like Dirk. It was like unreal to watch. So I just think that, you know, she got her credit. And I mean, the more eyes that got to see her, because you hear about it and it slowly built up. And then when her and Angel Reese played, and you actually had that moment, there's always a moment that takes it to the next level. That moment when they played against each other, it took it to a whole nother level.
And like I said, man, I'm not being a homer, but there's an argument that can be made that Angel Reese made her.
I think they needed each other. I've always said I think they needed each other. And I'm gonna forever say that they needed
they
each
both
other.
need each other to become the
Who they are today.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're right. But I think that without Angel Reese, there would not have been this much hype.
Oh no, I agree with that. I agree with that. But you need that. You know, like Mayweather was pretty boy for a long time. And we watch boxing. So like you can't compare it to us. But he needed certain things to go down. And when he became Money Mayweather, boy, them checks got a whole lot bigger. You know, Conor McGregor, I'm pretty sure, out early in UFC, Yvonne them knew who he was. But at some turning point, you know, it got elevated to another level. And I just think I don't know what that level is because I don't watch UFC like that. But for Caitlin Clark, it was the Angel Reese in her situation. And from there, but she grabbed the baton. And a lot of times she will grab the baton, and you know what happens? They drop it along the way. When she grabbed that mug, I ain't dropping that thing. I'm balling.
I don't know, man. Here's my thing: that she got the baton. She got the baton in a losing effort, right? When she lost to LSU, that's when all the eyes, they got on her, right? Because she was hooping.
Well, she beat South Carolina. Yeah, she beat South Carolina in the Final Four.
But didn't nobody care.
Well, I can't say because I watched it, but okay. She beat South Carolina, and then when she got to, because nobody thought they were going to beat South Carolina. Me and Kia still on the phone for about an hour. I'm like, bro, nobody's beating South Carolina, bro. Are you crazy?
I know. I remember. And she hit that's when she first hit the thing against the chick, right?
That was against Louisville.
That was against Louisville?
Yeah, Louisville.
All right, man. Let's wrap things up, man. We could go on this forever.
That's the I want to be. I agree that she's the biggest story of 2024, but I think that was because she was placed in that position. She was on the front page of me.
Hey, I'm gonna get with Keo. I'm gonna put out my best things from 2024. Best video game to drop is college football, even though I don't play it. You know, I wish I could play it more. I know box office, you still playing it?
Every day, because I'm in a Dynasty Online league.
Yeah, but it's fire. I just don't have time to play.
All right, man. All right, man.
I won't smoke with both of y'all, man.
All right, man.
Let me know. I've been playing ever since it came out. So easy.
I played a total of 4 games. My son blew me out 56-13.
Okay. So to the end of the show, we're gonna do something a little different because I'm not sure what's gonna happen next week. But we're going to end your 2024 wrap up. You guys could say whatever you want to say from this year in 2024. So go ahead.
All right. Well, first and foremost, I'm going to give my shout outs too. So I'll do both at the same time, okay? So shout out to all y'all boys, man. I hope y'all definitely have a Merry Christmas with y'all family, man. Y'all loved ones. Everybody tuned in. Look, man, enjoy these moments. You know, as a kid, you think to yourself, the presents are the most important thing during Christmas. Bruh, I'm realizing definitely now as a grown man, that is like the small things. As my daughter is about to graduate, now she's about to start going, you know, off to college. Man, these moments matter, bruh. So love your time with your family that you have with them because it's super, super important. And as far as my moment of 2024, the one that's going to stand out as far as for sports moment, I'm going to say Caitlin Clark, bro, and Angel Reese. I will. I mean, to me, that's the moments. Them playing again in the rematch and then also getting drafted into the WNBA playing in the WNBA, taking the WNBA to another level. Shout out to them girls, man. And shout out to Asia Wilson, too, for what she did for women's basketball this past year. And let me not forget the last thing. Shout out to the New York Liberty, who I picked to win the whole thing, who won. But shout out to women's basketball, man.
If someone's gotten one, go ahead. I'm trying to.
Oh, and Happy New Year's, too. I know if we don't come on here, Happy New Year's to everybody, man.
All right. I'll go. Couple of big things happened this year. A couple of unfortunate things. Trump got reelected. That's a down note. One good thing for the country. Most memorable moment was Steph Curry shooting that three over two defenders in the Olympics with no pulse in his arm. Just shot it because he's Steph and he know he can make it. And you got KD and LeBron looking at him. He didn't even think about passing it to him. He hit the jump over them two boys, sent them boys to sleep. Biggest moment of the year to me, man. That was craziness. And it just showed you how legendary Steph is. And it was real dope. That's a moment that we'll live in. Living these kids, the kids these days, that's their Jordan, last shot at the Bulls moment. You know what I mean? Something they're gonna remember and tell their kids about. So I think that was dope. Other than that, man, I think, like I said, I think the Caitlin Clark thing was cool. I think this was a great year for women's basketball, but you can see as we see now, without Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese in the college ranks of college basketball, even with Juju and Buckner still there, it just ain't that. It was about them two. So we got to see where this goes, man. We got to see where it goes. All right, so we doing last minute shout outs too, right? All right, last minute shout outs. I was going to Hunter, Morgan, Tori, Christian, Lee, and Edward. Daddy, love y'all. I'll see you in just a second. To my beautiful wife, Latricia, I love you too. I'll see you in just a second. To Papa's baby, Marcel Carter, Brian, and Azaria Grace, Brian. Papa, love y'all. I'll see you in just a second. Even if it's just on my screensaver, which my wife changed to me and her. Got to put it back to my grandbabies, man. I'll see her in a second. And to everybody on the all the MBS people, man, I appreciate y'all boys for having me on here. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all of that there. And hopefully we'll be back next week for a Happy New Year. But if we ain't, Happy New Year to y'all boys, man. And who that? Boot up or shut up? You know what it is, trendsetter.
Okay. Well, none of my teams won it in 2024. Maybe Texas does it to me early 2025. That'd be a great start to the new year. But I actually agree with C. What stuck out to me is Curry saving LeBron. He saved them.
You're not a hater.
He went bonkers with threes. Literally did it for the USA. I think that stuck out to me in terms of sports moments of the year when I think back about it. Because think about it. When you think about that, you don't think about LeBron's performance against Trinidad, Tobago, and whoever else he balled out against. You think about Steph. You think about Steph going crazy against France and Serbia. So I'm going to go with Steph as my sports moment of the year. But hey, I hope Texas, man, 2 games away from the national title game, and get me there, and then we'll pull it off in the end. So hook 'em horns. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays in general. And love doing this show with you boys. Can't wait to be on next time. I will not be on next week. I'll be celebrating New Year's out of town. So it will be 2 weeks from now where we'll talk about Texas in the semifinal. Welcome.
Hey man, I got a lot of sports moments from this year that I enjoyed.
Oh, and I also enjoyed the Saints and LSU missing the playoffs.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
Well, no, not that. Definitely Caitlin Clark though. What she did, I enjoyed the injuries. Also, I enjoyed the growth for women's sports. I love wrestling, man. So it was great to see Cody Rhodes finally become the champion, knocking off the tribal chief Roman Reigns, man. That was huge.
Grow up, Keo.
Shut up. I'm still talking. And then also another huge sports moment for me was he's actually becoming one of my favorite players in soccer right now, Lamine Yamal. But what he did in soccer, winning the Euros for Spain. I thought that was probably one of my favorite Euros tournament that I've watched in a while. So I definitely enjoyed that. And obviously the big boxing matches that was set in 2024 also. I think that was huge also. But yeah, man, 2024 and obviously the NBS platform, man. We had a lot of moments on the show. We had a lot of crazy takes. We had a lot of bad takes. We had a lot of good takes. What I'm actually gonna do, man, I'm gonna put out together the greatest moments in 2024 on the NBS show, and it's gonna be some bad ones. It's gonna be some good ones. I'll probably add some bloopers in there also with everybody, man. So, but shout out
He's
to
not gonna do
these.
everybody. He's gonna do me, Vaughn, and C. He's like, he gonna
Now,
barely see.
I'll add me, but I'll add me what I said about Josh Allen and the Chargers. I'll do that too.
No bloopers with me, obviously.
George is not that good. That
But
might be
definitely-
the biggest one.
But definitely shout out to everybody though that was part of the NBS platform from doing the shows with C3, doing the show with Danny Myers. Shout out to Reed, Q, Red, Yvette. Obviously, these guys that's on the show every single week. Definitely appreciate these guys, XC and Yvonne. Our TikTok channel launched in 2024. The NBS channel is growing on the YouTube channel also, and we went live actually every week on the YouTube channel also. But with that being said, hope everybody have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. Be safe out there, man, and we'll see you guys.
Hey, one thing. I'd like to take my last minute shout out back from my son Hunter. He just texted his sister, asked how I was handling the Saints losing. So he out for the week.
Yeah, how are you handling that? 0 points. So
all right, man. With that being said, man, this is the NBS team. See you guys in 2025. We out.